Hello and welcome to another video with me, Winner Andre, to another video of Weekly Andre, in which this week I actually managed to get around to watching a few anime movies, for once. So yeah, went through and watched both of the progressive movies that have been released so far. So yeah, basically goes back to the very beginning of the story pretty much, and we get to see it from Asuna's perspective instead, who apparently is actually only playing SAO due to one of her friends, who I think is also an anime original character that does not exist in the light novels, I think. So, a bit weird there, but whatever, I guess. But that friend ended up abandoning her, and when they're both about to die, so of course Kirito is the one that ended up saving her there. But at the very least, when it comes to her friend, I guess their things kind of got patched up after the boss fight on floor 1 and also in the second movie, I guess. So, yeah. They obviously still when they're separate ways and everything, considering, yeah, that would be too conflicting with the actual story and everything, with the main story and all that, so yeah. Now it's more or less everything that pretty much really happened in the first movie, to be honest. And also, I guess one other thing I'll just go ahead and mention right now is the fact that I never really realized the fact that Asuna is a rich girl, I guess. Considering it's really just not shown, or at all, to be honest, throughout the entirety of the anime. And it's only in this movie that I actually realized, because of the beginning of it's there. It's like, her family is rich. She's basically a noble girl, pretty much. But, yeah. Moving on to the second movie, which apparently skips all the way to the fourth floor's boss fight, so no idea what they did when it comes to anything that was in between the first floor and fourth floor's boss fights. But yeah, I guess we skipped over all that. But yeah, the second movie was pretty much just Asuna and Kirito trying to beat the boss for the fifth floor to prevent the two major guilds from going to war with each other over one of its drops. So yeah, that's pretty much what the second movie was. That's it. Besides the fact that we also got some new characters like Arago, who I think is the information broker, which I think is the one that created the guidebook that's only, I think, ever actually mentioned a single time in the anime, right at the beginning. But yeah, overall I would say both the movies were pretty good, I guess. And from my understanding, getting at the inconsistencies in this from the original story is basically just a result of the fact that SAO was originally written for a writing contest. So the author kind of had restrictions on what he was capable of actually doing for the story, considering he had to get it done in time for it and everything else, basically. So this is basically him kind of rewriting the beginning of the story, I guess, the way he wants the story to actually be. But yeah, when it comes to movies, at the very least here, I'm honestly not sure if they're going to cover the stuff that they skipped between those floors, between these two movies here, so probably not going to happen. But it would be nice to see that stuff, I guess. But the only other thing I have to really mention when it comes to SAO, I guess, is just, when the fuck are we going to get another season? Because it's been over 5 years since the last one aired. Seriously. The last season of SAO aired in 2020. Then you got the first progressive movie in 2021, second progressive movie in 2022, and then last year we got the second season of Gun Gale Online, but that's just a spin-off. So, where's all the SAO stuff? We were getting it regularly, and now it's just kinda gone. But, yeah. I guess besides SAO there, I also did watch the Yuru Camp movie and Licorice Recoil short movies. But yeah, don't really have anything to mention for those. The Licorice Recoil there, so Yuru Camp, I guess. I can kind of talk about it. Didn't bother going through and taking screenshots of it, anything in it, to be honest there. So, yeah. It's more their adult life, so further in the future, at least 10 years in the future, I think. So, yeah. We got to see the jobs that everyone has. To be honest, Rin probably has the worst job of them all. Though her co-worker, I guess, is kind of supposed to be the author of the story, I guess. So maybe not too bad. But besides that, I guess Aoi probably has the next worst job, being a kindergarten and elementary school teacher in Japan. Yeah. It's like even the school she was working at ended up getting closed down during the movie. So yeah, probably not that good of a job, but sure, I guess. But overall, the movie there was basically just them making their own campgrounds. So yeah, it was good, at the very least there. Definitely enjoyable though, but there were a few moments in the movie where it kind of just felt like it was kind of starting to just drag on a little bit too much and taking too long to move on to the next thing. So, if it wasn't for those parts there, I'd probably rate it a bit higher on Mal, to be honest. But, yeah, that's all I got to mention for movies, I guess. And so next week, when it comes to anime, it's going to be Arknights. That's the only thing I know I'm going to be talking about. Considering next 5 weeks, I have at least one anime currently I'm watching ending, so those I'm going to be talking about. And I think at that point, once I have all that completed, that'll probably be the end of this whole weekly Andrew series, cause yeah, meh. Don't really care too much about continuing this thing at this point. It's literally just been an excuse to talk about anime, and I just kind of gotten a bit tired of that at this point. So yeah, I'll probably continue watching the anime and everything like normal, but yeah, I'll see if I can maybe figure something else out when it comes to that stuff, but yeah. Moving on to other stuff, I guess. Got a World of Tanks to collect the free rewards for version 2.0 and everything. So, yeah. Not gonna really play the game, because, yeah, I just don't really enjoy it. It's just some of those mechanics where the game is just, yeah. It'd take me too long to really get a full understanding of it, especially spotting mechanic. So, yeah. I prefer World of Warships and War Thunder, just saying. But meanwhile, I guess when it comes to World of Warships, yeah, don't really have much to mention for it. Made a lot of progress for this week's phase of the dockyard though. Jesus. Just 5 battles and I nearly have, I got 2 of the 6 missions needed done. And then the other 2 are basically like a third of the way completed. And that was just 5 battles. So yeah, this week's stuff is super easy. But yeah, still playing the World War II operations. Because I can get a few 100,000 credits every single battle. That's very good for me considering I really need those credits. But I don't really think I have much else to mention. Not even with all the new stuff kind of that was added in this update. So, yeah. I guess moving on to one final thing I kind of have to mention here, which is the fact that I've kind of something that I guess you'll see in next week's videos is that I create a little membership graphic thing because I kept forgetting to actually mention it. So yeah, I guess I won't force myself to actually mention the YouTube memberships and just instead have that pop up there instead, so it doesn't interrupt the video, I guess. I think that'll probably be a bit better. But also, I guess one other thing I did is the fact that I updated my little outro video that's at the end of each video. I went and created 3 updated versions of it that actually has animations and stuff. So it's no longer just a black screen with text on it. So yeah, first one is waves, I guess. It's basically just stream element stuff. That is like, oh yeah, I could probably use that stuff as a nice background for the outro. Don't know why it took me this long to realize I could really do that, but yeah. First one is waves, then got globe, and then dots. So, yeah. Not sure which of those is the best of the three, but I guess for now I'll kind of just rotate through all three of them. See which one I kind of like most out of them all, and then possibly stick with it. So, yeah. I guess that's it for this week. Don't really have anything else to mention, I think. So, yeah, that there is the end of this video here. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.